The fifth video of the Four Horsemen strategy guide will demonstrate the pathing for the 4 rear tanks. These are the tanks picking up Lady Blaumeux and also Sir Zeliek. These tanks will be split into 4 teams, but they're going to be in teams by themselves, not with any DPS. So they're essentially just individual character teams. So Team 5 will be the tank that pulls Lady Blaumeux to circle on the pool. Then the Team 6 tank will be the second tank to pick up Lady Blaumeux, and then Team 7, and then Team 8. So, if I'm the Team 5 tank, on the pool, I'm going to be standing here, and I'm going to be taunting off the hunter, and then pulling Lady Blaumeux into the corner here as quickly as possible. On the third mark, the Team 6 tank is going to come and taunt off me, so I can get back to the triangle before the 5th mark goes off. I'm going to be here for a full mark duration, and then I'm probably going to hide about here because marks are affected by line of sight. So even though Sir Zeliek is probably within 65 yards of where I'm standing, the marks can't affect me because I'm hiding behind the stairs. So just before the 6th mark goes off, I'm going to be standing here. Then the 6th mark will go off, and I'm going to run this path and then taunt off the tank so they can get to triangle before they get their 5th mark. And then when the 9th mark goes off, the Team 6 tank is going to follow the same path, taunt off me, and I'm going to run this path back to triangle. Then I'm going to stand about here, and then when the 12th mark goes off, I'm going to follow this route and taunt off the Team 8 tank. So that concludes a full rotation of the rear tanks pathing. So the reason that the tanks that are picking up Sir Zeliek and retreating from Sir Zeliek need to take this route, it's not a direct route, is because they need to stay at least 5 yards away, preferably more than 10, because I could be wrong with the 5 yards, it might actually be 10. The healers and the DPS will be standing right here. So the tanks want to be as far away as possible to reduce the risk of the healers or the DPS getting hit by the Holy Wrath. Now, when it comes to taunting, the tanks will need to be using their Gazrilla reel from Zul'Gurub. So the reel has a 75-second cooldown and lasts 15 seconds, but between each taunt, it's only 72 seconds. So there's a 3-second gap. So before this Team 6 and Team 8 tanks taunt off the Team 5 and Team 7 tanks, they're going to pop their reel just after the just as the 3rd mark hits, and they're going to pop it and then start running. So the reel is now active, and then the tank is going to taunt, and the reel should expire about 4 or 5 seconds. Sorry, yeah, the reel should expire about 4 or 5 seconds after the taunt has gone off. And now on the opposite side, it's going to be 72 seconds before you taunt again. So you're going to pop your reel on cooldown, which would be after 75 seconds. So it's going to be about 3 seconds later than when popping your previous reel. So you're going to be somewhere about here. And then again, when you go the opposite side, you're going to pop your reel on cooldown, and it might not go off until you're maybe about here. So the whole idea is that the reel can be used at least 3 or 4 times before it will be on cooldown and you can't use it again. During this time, if your taunt is resisted, then you might have to resort to using Mocking Blow or Challenging Shout. But then, for your next taunt, the reel will be back on cooldown. It'll be off cooldown, and you'll be able to start the rotation again. So before you go into tank, before you move on that third mark, you're going to pop your reel. Also, all the tanks at the rear end, so tanks 5 to 8, should be wearing full armor, parry, dodge, mitigation gear. The reason being is that there's no elemental damage apart from the Holy Wrath, which is a holy spell, so you can't wear resist gear for that. But you shouldn't be receiving any spell damage at all, so get in full mitigation gear so that you can receive as little damage as possible, make the job on the healers a lot easier so they can focus more on the raid healing and healing through the marks and the fire damage on the other side of the room.